What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. We're gonna start things off with Stale's HomePod here. They've got... Oh, and I apologize, that is probably not the correct pronunciation. I'm sorry. But anyways, we've got no power here. Let's see what it does. Give it a few taps. Let's make sure all our cameras, there we go. And we've got a couple of watts from the wall. All of that looks like the usual dead diode. We're going to take this apart, do a little bit of maintenance, do a little bit of repairs, and get it right back together. They opted to not have it reset and updated, so we'll leave it alone after it's fixed. And that'll be it. Alex, welcome back. Welcome. We're doing great. We get the next 2 days off. At least from the day job. And since UPS is closed tomorrow for Thanksgiving also, that means nothing will show up to get fixed. It's been a long time since I've had a day off in the middle of the week. Let alone really at all. But I'll take it. Hope everything is all fine and dandy on your side of the world. Yeah, Thanksgiving tomorrow. Ah, yuck. I hate the rain. I don't live anywhere where, well, I live in the wrong place for not liking rain. It rains here all the time, too. It's raining right now. It's been raining pretty much the past week. But that's pretty normal here. It's not like torrential downpour or anything. Just cold and wet. Yeah, pay us a visit sometime. Come to America. I haven't been many places here. Well, I've only been out of the state a few times. All sorts of something for someone anywhere you can go. Yeah, you could fly over here, buy a bunch of HomePods, and then fly back home. And it'd be cheaper than buying a bunch of them at home. All right. Here we go. First up, our favorite filters. Well, if you think that way, you might have a hard time finding one. $300 for a HomePod? I mean, maybe when they were first released, or maybe for a brand new second gen, but that's still kind of pushing it. Most of these HomePods come in for the same no power issue, just like this one. We have a whole list of common issues that we see in repair here up on our website too, if you're ever curious. Usually it's this power issue. All right. I want to scoot those down just a little itty bitty more. There we go. I like that. But is that enough room between the two? Nope. There we go. Alright. Now we can get that dead diode. 46K dated, of course. Gotta stay hydrated. Cheers. Steezy, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. There's a few different causes for no power, but we list most of the common ones on our website. This diode here is the most common one, and the diode fails from quality control issues. So if we put a new one on there, it won't happen again. There we go. Let's get this back together. customs for a $10 cable? Or at least that's what I declared it as. If that. I either put it down as a $10 item or declared it as a gift. Remind me, were you in Canada? In any case, you should be able to give them a call and see what the holdup is. And make sure that when you're looking at the tracking info, I give you an Ahoy link that goes to an Ascendia webpage. It gives you 2 tracking numbers, the Ahoy number and then another tracking number for your local carrier, be it UPS, USPS, or whatever. Get that tracking number and plug it into your local carrier's tracking system, and that'll give you probably more up-to-date. Brazil, yeah, okay, so, and I'll help you with this after the stream. I'll take a look at the tracking number after my stream here and see what it says. Actually, let me see here. While this is booting up. Okay, so I got yours here. Oh, due to recent customs strikes, it will be delayed. I didn't know you guys were having a postal strike. There's a strike going on for the postal workers. I'm having trouble connecting to the in Canada right now too.
I'm having trouble connecting.
For folks in Canada, I've had to charge them a couple extra bucks for shipping UPS Direct. But I am so sorry about that. We might just have to wait it out and see what happens. Oh, it's not accurate? There's no strike? Okay, that's really weird. Definitely give... What is this tracking number? Brazil... Package tracking. What's your local carrier even called? Correios. It looks like... I'm gonna email you this. That is the tracking for your local carrier. Is my package stuck in customs? Let's see what Correios says. English. Oh. Need to inform the recipients. Yeah, okay. I'm going to send you another link. Ignore the one that I sent you from the parcel app. I don't know if you're looking at Correios. I don't know if you're looking at the Correios one. You're getting another email from me. If you go to that one, there's a button, there's a link for My Imports. I think you can get that sorted out through there. Fingers crossed. Okay. Let's see. You filled the form already? Okay. You will have to bug them about it. Because my info says that it's got a potential delivery date for somewhere around December 4th. So it looks like it could possibly take another week. Alright. Let's share a link to David so they can watch theirs. There we go. Yeah, of course, man. Keep me definitely keep me in the loop. If there's any info that they need from me to help get that through, just let me know. Alright, so we've got two from David here, one with no power, one with death farts. Let's see what, oh, looks like we grabbed the one with death farts first. Let's switch that up there. Let's see how bad it pops. That's usually a good sign of how bad those filters have gotten, usually. Ooh, yikes. Quite the pop. Yes, sir. Let's get that fixed. Hopefully the subwoofer has survived. And this will be essentially the same as like a no power repair. Since we replace these filters that go bad and lead to death farts whenever we take a HomePod apart. Those original filters love to die. They want up to 90% tax. Let me see. I have sent 5 things to Brazil. It looks like somebody's... Oh. Hold on. Have I not sent this one? Okay, I did. Oof. You're not the only one. I sent something to somebody else and it's been stuck in customs since the 18th. Oh, that was a year ago. Never mind. Nope, yeah, that one. No, that one is yours. That was the same one. Okay. Uh-oh. Now what's wrong with my stuff? My mouse doesn't work. Now it's working. What a day. What a day. Okay. We're getting carried away here. Let's get back to it. Can you tell I'm starting to mentally check out already with the Thanksgiving break coming up? I was the first one in the office today, which is pretty rare. And then there were only like half the people in the office that are normally in. So we had Panda Express for lunch at work today, and I got as much as I could eat. I was tempted to take some home with me, but there were some other coworkers there that could probably use the food. And by that I mean they just they tend to be the kind of people that don't usually make any food for themselves. They just kind of eat everything processed and microwaved, you know. So a warm meal. Very nice. Man, I would go like a week at a time without eating anything but like microwave dinners and stuff. And it wasn't necessarily out of necessity, although obviously if I could afford eating out and I was motivated enough to cook my own meals at dinner every night, then certainly I would have done that. But I was just always focused on work. Did what was convenient. I'm still bad at eating. I'll go a whole day without eating anything till dinner. And it's not like I don't get hungry. I definitely feel like get hungry. But it's not like I don't know. It's weird because I can forget that I'm hungry. My stomach's just kind of sitting there like, hey, you know, maybe we should eat something. And I'm like, just 4 more hours and it'll be dinner time. You can wait it out. Subwoofer has survived the thrashing. Oof. All right. What have we got here? Here are our filters that go bad over time and lead to our flatulence. Our 10 ohm resistor here tends to have a bad time when that happens, but it looks to be in perfect shape. The date code on our Schottky diode is dated 42K, so we need not worry about that failing and causing no power anytime soon. The only thing this needs are the filters, so let's get that knocked out, and then we can put this back together and get it testing. Now, I would be lying if I said I didn't snack every once in a while throughout the day. I can demolish a snack or two. What kind of biscuits you talking about? Depending on where you live, biscuits means many different things. When you say biscuit to me here, I think like the kind of biscuits you get with biscuits and gravy. Buttermilk biscuits, flaky goodness. Sorry, had to clear my throat there. That's as perfect as it gets. Let's get this back together. Ooh, cookies, biscuits. I was blessed and cursed with a hyperactive metabolism. In other words, it's impossible for me to put weight on. It's difficult to maintain 150 pounds as it is. But on the bright side, I pretty much eat as much as I want. And, no problems. I'm very lucky. It'll catch up to me one day, though. Maybe. That's what my mom told me, at least. I don't know, man. We'll see. It just feels like it's only getting faster as I get older. Like, I eat a whole meal and then, like, 2 or 3 hours later, I'm hungry again. There was this time one of my roommates and I ran out to McDonald's to get the whole house a bunch of cheeseburgers, and I think we ordered like 25 or 30 cheeseburgers, and I ate half of them before we even got home. What is wrong with me? Oh, and it shows in the kid too. It's insane how much that kid eats. Oh. And she doesn't get fat. We feed her as much as she wants to eat, and she doesn't fatten up. But then she's hungry again 2 hours later. If that. She's just like me. There was a USB adapter, one of my USB restore adapters for the first gen HomePods. Somebody in Hong Kong bought one, and I shipped it off a few weeks ago, and it's on its way back to me. The challenges and roadblocks that you run into when you start selling and shipping products. Like with HomePod repairs, we tend to not have issues like that, because if the person can't get the thing to us, then no. But if they can get it to us, then chances are it's going to be easy for us to get it back to them. With these USB adapters, it's free game. Anybody in the world can hit me up and say, hey, can you ship this to me? And I'll give it a fair shot. Pirate Ship has this really awesome deal where I can ship literally anything under half a pound anywhere in the world for like 13 or 14 bucks. The challenge is that I've been running into, obviously, foreign addresses. I'm awful at it. And then there's only so many ways that I can enter it. The address correction tends to screw things up. It strongly suggests that a given address is really something else. Sometimes I can't search the address on Google to make sure it's correct either. Ugh. And then sometimes I ask people, how do I sometimes I give up and I just take a screenshot of the address, town, zip code, the fields that I enter the data in, and I just send a screenshot of that and I ask, how would you fill this out? So I can make sure this gets to you without being addressed incorrectly. Unfortunately, I still messed that up for somebody that bought an adapter in Hong Kong. It's so weird how wildly different addresses are formatted around the world. I gotta get out more. I'll get out more when they're when the HomePods stop showing up. I mean, there were only so many HomePods out there, right? There's only so many that can be fixed, right? There's an end to this, right? Oh, don't get me started about the import tariffs, the duties, VAT, whatever your country wants to call it. You got that right, Alex. I trust no filters. I trust none of them. They're all gonna get replaced. If it's coming apart in front of me, it's gonna get replaced. It's not often that in the electronics repair industry where you've got something that you just preemptively replace. Generally, you fix what's wrong and you leave everything else alone. Because what that means is you introduce risk and variables and things that you can break, other things that can break. It's more complication, but beautiful. Fantastic. We're gonna let that test. What I was saying was the risks of replacing those filters every time. Excuse me. The risks of replacing those filters every time far outweighs the inconvenience and the additional damage that them going bad causes. I used to not replace them every time. You've probably heard it from me a few times already, but I haven't always replaced those filters. At the very, very, very beginning, we didn't even know what those did or that they went bad. We got to the point where we diagnosed that those filters were causing certain issues, and we only replaced them if they tested bad. And then we started seeing, we started getting people reaching back out to us, for example, for no power repairs, where we didn't replace those filters because they tested good at the time, but then shortly after, a few weeks, a few months down the road, they decayed and they started farting and frying subwoofers. So I got tired of taking HomePods back, even if it wasn't technically, covered under any kind of warranty or anything. I fixed a no power issue, and that's what you got guaranteed at the time. But I still, helped people out, and we all figured it out. And now it's just something that I recommend anybody working on HomePods do. You should, if you've got a HomePod apart, it's worth your time to replace those filters if you feel like you're not going to mess more things up trying to do it. So we've got David's second HomePod here with no power. It was pulling a couple of watts from the wall. Let's get this apart and fixed up. And yes, indeed, we're going to give it new filters too. The main culprit, however, is that pesky Schottky diode that just wasn't made very well. So Alex brings up a good point. And we, if you've watched a number of our streams, you'll have heard it many, many times. But the filters are ceramic capacitors. And the major downside with ceramic capacitors is they decay over time. This is a natural occurrence. And you don't even have to be using them. They can just be sitting in the packaging, sitting on the shelf, powered off or whatever. They are still aging. They are still decaying. Somebody emailed me a few days ago with a brilliant idea, and that was tantalum capacitors as replacements. And only until recently would this have been an idea worth even trying, because tantalum capacitors have a history of not being a great choice for DC filtering. They tend to explode. So these days, it seems the manufacturing process has significantly improved, and they might be a viable option. They far, far, far outlast your ceramic capacitors, but it will take time for me to find the right replacements and test and confirm that that's a actually viable long-term solution. If we find that it is, it might just be the part that we use by default, and we can finally say, you can replace those filters and you don't have to worry about them again. Granted, the replacements that we use should at least outlast the originals, if not 2 to 4 times longer. We're looking roughly like 10 to 15 years. I wish we knew more specs of the, I wish we knew more about the amplifier so we could calculate the actual estimated lifespan, but that still also depends on how you use them, how you use your speaker. But if the tantalum capacitors end up being a viable replacement permanently, that would be excellent. Who knows where the software functionality will be for these 10 years down the road? Will we still be able to use them at the very least as they, the same way that we can use them today? I don't expect them to continue adding new features, but if they can at the very least continue letting us use them the same way we do today, indefinitely, then I would be happy with that. And even if they eventually discontinued, like, Siri support, I know a lot of people use them for their smart home and what have you. I do too. But my primary use case is just using it as an AirPlay speaker. And if I can keep doing that, I'll be happy. Does the PCB or surrounding components fatigue with heat? If you're talking about like just normal operation, not really. Nothing really gets hot enough to really cause any other problems. They did a really, really good job designing these. No joke. Even considering its flaws. It cost them $249 just in materials to put one of these first gens together for you. Not to mention the cost of research and development and the years and years that they spent engineering the thing before putting it out. You know? Yeah, your mileage may definitely vary. Because, as weak sauce as the original filters are, you gotta think, it's not the most common repair I get in here. They don't really fail, seemingly too often. And we're past, let's see, 6 years since they were released. If it was absolute crap, then I would expect to see like a complete pandemic of death farts and bass issues, but the most common problem that we continue to see to this day is that dead diode causing no power. How do you test the filters with a multimeter? Very good question. I have a brief test procedure on my website, nixfix.com. If you go to the known issues and then look for DC offset / death farts, I have some pictures and a brief explanation of how you test. And basically, you plug your subwoofer into your amplifier, and you need to connect a multimeter to the probe points on the subwoofer itself, and then you need to turn it on and actually wake it up. The amp doesn't turn on when you plug it into power until you trigger the voice assistant or you start playing something to it. So once you wake it up, you got the amp powered on and it's juiced up and ready to go, then you've got your multimeter connected to the subwoofer in DC voltage mode. And I've got the numbers that you're looking out for on my website. One other thing too, you see me quite often, pull these filters off 4 at a time. Don't try that. Pick them off 1 at a time there. I'm just a bit fancy like that. And then same thing for putting the new ones on there. Do one at a time. Put one down, flow it into place, get it lined up, and then flow the next one into place, because this is not the game that you want to play your first time at it. Do it the easy route. Don't do it the quick route that like we do here. I think I have a video linked under that known issue on my website where I show you guys how you should do it. If I excuse me, if I mention low melt solder, don't use low melt solder. I need to redact that. And there is our 46K dated dead diode. Let's get that replaced. And once again, the only reason that this part in particular fails in the first gen HomePod is due to a quality control issue with the part itself. It's not like it's underrated or the wrong part for the job. It just wasn't made very well. So we'll get that replaced with a brand new one. Same problem won't happen again. And we can guarantee that. You'll now just be at the mercy of Apple and their software updates, and how long your logic board lasts. What is up, Lens? Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. Oh, you were recommended our stream. Interesting. We're getting recommended to people. How many HomePods do I typically keep in stock? I usually only have a couple of each color in stock. And that's mostly because it's a little tricky to get my hands on them, and quite often I must break something down for parts. But I always try to keep a couple at least ready to go. That said, I do have, more than a couple of each color sitting around in various conditions, waiting to get fixed, waiting to get used for parts. I've got enough HomePod parts sitting around to put together whatever anybody would want to get from us. That said, if you ask for, a few dozen HomePods, that might take us some time. We'll probably work something out with you where we'll hunt down a bunch of broken ones for sale and fix a bunch up that way instead of exhausting my stock of stuff. And that's something that I always tell people to look out for too. If they're interested in buying another HomePod, you can buy one of my refurbs, which gets all the same work that we do on all these other HomePods to keep it going as long as possible. Or you might be able to save some money finding a broken one and having it shipped directly to us for the repair and then return shipping to you. Somewhere around, let's see, the most that I charge for a repair with no surprises is $80, and that's shipping both ways. So if you've got shipping to me covered, that's $10 off right there. So the most you pay for a HomePod repair if you're buying a broken one and having it sent in to me, if it's one of the standard issues, it would be $70 at most. So that leaves you with a $90 budget for a broken HomePod that you can spend on, where it will still be cheaper than buying one of my refurbs, let alone a used working one. Those start at about $160. So if you can find a broken HomePod shipped to me for $90 or less, it'll be cheaper than trying to buy a refurbished from me or any of the other folks out there selling refurb HomePods. And funny enough, cheaper than some of the parts HomePods out there. Yuck. I don't know what's wrong with people. I get supply and demand in where you live, but we're talking people that's selling these things in the US. Out of their mind. Gee, I'm thirsty. Keeping these old busted subwoofers around, they come in handy. Who there disturbs my do not disturb status? the cover replaced. Let me double check here. Oh, that's right. You want a new mesh on this. You want a new mesh on this. Really? It looks pretty good. I can try to give this a good wipe down and clean it up for you here and see if I can save you some money before I hop on a replacement there. Replacing the mesh on these is really easy. It's no big deal for me to do that before I ship them back out. Might be a tough ask finding one in better shape. Yeah, because that one's got a little spot there. This one.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the home app.
That we can clean up. But this one looks better. As far as I can tell, David, physically your mesh is in perfectly fine shape. It looks great. I'm more than happy to... I mean, I'm not going to charge you to wipe it down. Don't worry about that. I'll see what I'll see how clean I can make it, and
I'm having trouble.
We'll call it good. All right. We're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back at it. Feel free to grab a drink, run to the bathroom. We'll be back in a few. All right. Let's shoot a link to the next one up here. There we go. Get that put back in there. I'm impressed anytime anybody manages to coil that up around the paper thing. Props to you, because I can't and I won't. So we've got no lights, no power. We've got a couple of watts at the wall. Let's get this apart, get it fixed. Hold up, my OCD's winning me here. I like my screws organized because when I go to pick them back up, they're in a predictable position. As I fumble. The Sweet Sounds of Electronics Repair, Volume 1, Track 1, HomePod, Track 2, Xbox 360. What's track 3? This one's chilly. It's cold on the inside. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this has been in their car for a while. At least since the morning. Let's get it. There we go. Ooh, cold through the screws. That's refreshing. Chilly. And there's like wafts of cold air coming out of it. Alright, first up, first things first. First of all, those fart filters. Let's get them replaced. I'm gonna just kinda warm all of this up a little bit first. Alright, that'll do. I hear chaos in the living room. And we've got a 46K date code there, of course. Let's get that replaced. Oh, Steam sales going on right now? Man. The last time I played a video game, I think it's been... I played Forza. I played Forza Horizon on my desktop. But I played it for a few minutes a few months ago, and then prior to that, it's been like a year. I used to enjoy video games and such, but now I'm crazy. I would just rather work. I can't relax. The relaxing that I get is the drive to the UPS store and back every day in my 1986 Nissan 300ZX. That's my relaxation. That's my free time, that's my fun. I'm gonna have to take a peek at that summer sale. Well, I'm gonna have to take a peek at that Steam sale though and see if there's anything worth hoarding in my library to play one day. Maybe I have a Steam Deck too. That's the funny thing. I don't really have a great excuse to not play some games here and there. Uh-oh. I apologize in advance. She is turning 2 soon, so... But that started months ago. So I have a feeling she'll be past it soon. The terrible twos. All aside, I couldn't have imagined a more terrific daughter. It's just so fun to see the ways that they develop every day. The new words they say, the new things they do. Like, when they learn something new, they do it a lot. Like, she learned how to jump without holding on to anything. Alright.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Very good, very good. Ben is all fixed up. Or not Ben, Darren. Darren is all fixed up. And now we move on to Ben. Ben has 2 HomePods also here. One of them is bricked with the blinkies. One of them is no power. Let's see what we're dealing with here. I want to pick on the one with no power first because I want to look at the bricked one last. Yep, there's the bricked one, of course. And this is the one I want to look at first. Yes, indeed, no power, no lights, no nothing. 6 watts from the wall. That is what I expect to see for one with no power. That sounded funny. Yeah, someone's been in here. That's right, I sold Ben an adapter, and I think they've already tried a restore on this one. So let's go ahead and fix this one with no power. And then we will sanity check that that other one with the blinkies, make sure it actually can't restore. Before we crack into this one, we have a little crack right here. So we want to be careful working around that area. We don't want to make it worse. I'm going to start after the crack. And then go around. So that I've got plenty of time to keep my tool level and carefully pass it under that cracked part. It's also putting up a fight. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. That popped off, we can just stick it right back. Whew. There we go. don't you play those games with me. I am not extracting a broken screw today. No, sir. Oh, got one more. There we go. Right. Oops, didn't realize you guys couldn't see that. Let me fix that for you. Alright. Ooh, not quite. That bottom one's a little off. Alright, that's a lot better. Let's move on to our dead diode. 46K again, of course. A new diode. A little bit of flux to remove the corrosion and help the solder flow and create a proper alloy bond between the parts and not just a sticky mechanical connection, also known as a cold solder joint. If you're interested in learning how to solder, or you think you're half decent at it, but you want to check yourself, find the YouTube channel for Pace. Pace has a playlist for like soldering basics. So if you look up Pace soldering basics, you'll find it on YouTube. Prior to watching those videos, I thought I knew what I was doing, but once you really understand how what you're doing works, then you know what you need to do it right, or improve or fix a particular problem that you keep encountering. Or at least it makes it a little easier. If you don't know what flux is and you aren't dousing your parts in it as you're soldering, then you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Make sure you get the no clean stuff if you're not gonna clean it like we do, because normal flux will corrode if you don't clean it up over time. But we got the good stuff. What is up? Welcome and or welcome back. Yours was actually the first HomePod that we got at on the stream, and it's all fixed up and good as new. You'll hear from us a short while after the end of our stream here to get your HomePod back. No surprises, no issues with it. We actually fixed a couple of HomePods since then, and we've got one more before the end of the stream here today. There it is. Let's see. I don't think Ben ever gave us the specific error that he saw when he attempted to restore this one. I would assume it's the same error, or one of the errors that we already have listed in the troubleshooting section of the restore guide.
I'm having trouble connect. I'm having trouble.
Alright, alright. Let's see what this brick does for us here. Oh? Hello? Computer? Oh, it's because I have my, Alright, well I guess my screen share's not working here and now. No big deal. Let's see what it does for us here. We're going to pwn it. We're going to reset it. We're going to try to restore it. Ooh, waiting for NAND. Okay. So this one has either a dead storage chip on the logic board. Here's one of them. And that is the storage chip. And quite often it's either the storage chip itself that dies or the solder connecting it to the board that dies. So we will try to repair this board If not, we'll go ahead and just replace it with another one. But we will save that for later, because we are about out of time. I'm going to let that finish erroring and close out. And we'll get Ben's bricked HomePod here fixed up with either what it needs done to the logic board or a replacement logic board and the usual maintenance with that. Yep. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope to catch you in the next live stream repair. Have a great one.